everyone, this is my Patreon proud reaction to the 5th episode of Mahoutsukai Precure. And last episode, they actually gave us quite a bit of information on the Linkle Stones. You know, they're legendary, they predate, like, the beginning of time, something like that. They do have a connection to the Precure stuff, but I guess we don't quite know what it is just yet. Like, that eludes the Headmaster, I think is how he phrased it. But there's, like, 3 different tiers of the stones themselves. We have the Emerald, which they definitely specified was like the most powerful, the most important. And then like 4 that guard it, which 2 of them, the Diamond and the Ruby, we've kind of discovered, so I guess there's 2 more we'll find at some point. And then they mentioned like the sub and support stones. I didn't quite get the difference between the Guardian and the support stones. I guess it's just a matter of how directly they protect the Emerald, because like what does support even mean? Like they support the Guardians that guard the Emerald. I didn't quite get that hierarchy 100%, but I mean, I get enough of it, right? You know, they're all stones, they're all kind of a big old posse, and the enemy wants them, or at least the Emerald. I don't know if the enemy has expressed any desire to get any other ones. Just it's mostly about the Emerald. Maybe if they have that one, they don't really need any other ones. That's probably how it works. But you know, that's that. We also had a remedial lessons, which involved Sensei making like paper butterflies, and then we had to chase them down. So, you know, it looked a lot more fun than any kind of remedial classes I ever had in school. So I don't think we have too much to complain about. We did meet the other classmates, although I don't really remember their names quite yet, and I probably won't unless they get a decent amount of screen time. But they seem like an interesting enough bunch, you know, that could potentially have like individual focus episodes at some point. I mean, they might not, but I'd be okay if they did. So, and then we had the whole Forbidden Library thing, and then battled in that with the shark in the books, and one of the books kind of, you know, birthed Mirai and Riko's new baby. So that was quite a way to end off an episode, you know? Some shows, characters go the entire thing without ever kissing. In this show, 5 episodes, we go from meeting each other to having a baby together. So I'd say that was pretty good progress if you take it in those terms. So yeah, I wonder how we'll deal with that, because we ended off the episode with that, so it'll be fun to see how kind of the girls respond to this, you know? Will they be happy? Will they be confused? Will they be, you know, kind of weighed down by the new responsibility that suddenly fell into their laps? Because most people have like 9 months to prepare for their baby, right? So, you know, it could be rough, you know, at the beginning, but I'm sure overall they are going to be pretty happy to have their new family member. So, but we'll see exactly how that goes. I'm looking forward to it at the very least. So let's just dive on in and see how things go. 3, 2, 1, play. Wow. Okay. Linkle smartphone. Wow. That's a thing. Well, we didn't go in there because we wanted to. And look what you did. You made the baby cry. Oh, please stop crying. You can tell he's never had a baby before. You don't yell at it. Oh, I guess we just stuck our diamond in our smartphone, which comes with a stylus. Oh, is that like a bottle for the baby? Okay. I mean, I guess they... Okay, I mean, I'm not gonna go there, but I guess that works. And I guess it's going to sleep. Yeah, that's quite the thing. These girls are always full of surprises. Yeah, I think they're still processing the new situation. Magic smartphone. Or, I mean, Linkle smartphone is what they called it. Just, okay. Okay. Never a dull moment for these girls. And yeah, that's a fairy, so we finally know what that's about. I'm sure Mofu will get along well with the new baby. But I am pretty sure I saw what looked like a sapphire as one of the guardian stones. So maybe we'll get a sapphire transformation. Maybe it's a thing where you need all of the stones to be able to get the emerald stone. I don't think they said that, but that could be a thing. Because why otherwise would you have guard stones? Unless you, like, have to deal with them to get the emerald. I'm just kind of thinking about things in my head as the opening's playing, but we're back into it now. Back to remedial lessons, yay! How is it different than a regular kettle? That's my question, Sensei. So we are getting more of our classmates. Oh, there's a but. There's always a but. An island of ice? That sounds amazing. Is that where we're gonna find the sapphire? Please tell me that's where we find the sapphire. Or at least a hot spring. I'll take either or. Like an ice volcano. That's such a cool idea. No pun intended. Yeah, easy. I think our girls are cold. I have a feeling. Right. That's easier said than done. You can tell he's concentrating because he's got sweat on his forehead, singular. Nailed it. This is not a good example, Sensei. Well, yeah, exactly what I was gonna say, actually. Do your best. At least she has a bear to warm her up. You almost had it. Quick. Mirai, warm up her hands. I blinked on her name, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, that's the idea. Yeah? Do you have an idea? Okay, try it, whatever it is. What are we doing? Right, yeah. Japanese thing, I guess. No, thank you. But if it works, it works. Well, you could at least try it, Rico. You're the one that freaking threw your wand at it, as if that's gonna help. Actually kind of cute. And they're having fun, so I don't see why you have to be such a wet blanket, Rico. Yeah, I bet. Well, they sold her on it. You're the only one left out, Rico. Are you sure you don't want to reconsider? Well, now it's a lesson in skinship. She is one stubborn girl. I know that's part of her character. It's such a weird thing to do, though. I mean, it makes sense, you know, body heat and all that. It just... the chant is really what makes it silly. You feeling warm enough to concentrate now? Yeah, let Mirai show you how it's done. Now that she's manju'd up with her friends. And... I think it's working. Maybe. Well, yeah, I think that means it worked. You're being outplayed by the non-Magic World girl, Rico. That's probably pretty embarrassing. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of you. You're doing so well for your, like, second day. You didn't even throw your wand at it. And there we go. And now there's no one left for her to manju with, so how is she gonna do it? Although that certainly helped. A great lesson in like teamwork and cooperation that Rico was not a part of. So what does that leave Rico? Is she just kind of like boned? Yeah, we did everything. Well, yeah, that does complicate things. Aren't we a pair? Okay, I guess that's fine then. Her pass applies to her. Yeah, but it wasn't by her own ability, so she probably can't fully accept that. But, you know, her not doing it's a result of her own stubbornness, so it's just, she's in a bit of an awkward position mentally, I'm sure. Yeah, she just wanted you to be happy, Rico. Don't fight. These baby's not here to watch. Nobody likes to see mommy and mommy fight. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Sapphire would make sense to have it around here somewhere, so hopefully we can get that Sapphire transformation. Okay, Mr. Witch. Think your cauldron's big enough? Does that mean anything to you? We need to get ourselves a comically oversized cauldron as well. No. There's no way it's the Emerald Stone. I mean, I could be wrong, but I assume that won't show up until all 4 of the guard stones do. That was not a very stably stacked stack of rocks. Although it could just be my wishful thinking of having to be the Sapphire. That could be definitely be building a bit of a bias in me. Why did you put so many U's in the word yep there, translators? You know, just in general, the subs are not the best, but it's fine. Yeah, in fact, I think that's going to attack us at some point. Oh my god, Rico. Oh god, Rico, I love you. Oh, that was the cutest Sundra thing I've seen in a while. Almost gave me a heart attack. Okay. I'm fine. She did. Please stop, Rico. I can't take much more of that. I can't even be mad at Rico. Yeah, I get it. This is important to you, and she just shows up in like a day and she's doing so well. I definitely get your frustration. But you do need to get over it at some point. Yeah, and more importantly, don't make the baby upset. Should at least get along for her sake. Okay, I guess she feels better now. I'm so glad that baby's now part of the show. Just these 2 pouty precures, just, I'm having a good time. Storm is brewing. That means you know, a bear, then it would be Yuri, Bear, and Storm, you know. You get that reference? Yuri Kuma Arashi. But, you know, we have a bear actually now that I think about it, so I guess we have all 3 parts. That's cool. I'm sure she's pretty cold. I think we should manju up for warmth. Yeah, she never manjued, so she never got to warm up. So for sure. I'm glad we're talking though. This is good. Yeah, I don't blame you at all for that. I think deep down Rico doesn't either. Here we go. Here we go. And there we go. Now we've officially made up. Yes, a very important part of the makeup session. And yeah, that we need to take care of those hands. Like if there's ever a time for whole hand holding, it would be now. And thus it starts. Oh my god, this is just the cutest, most wholesome, most amazing thing ever. Do we smell more Linkle? Now that we're all warm, we're ready to go hunt for some stones. That's definitely something to be grateful for. Magic definitely has its benefits. Yeah, very important. She's just such a top-tier tsundere. I needed this show in my life, so I'm glad it's here now. So, yeah, I was about to say, the enemy's around here, though, so this is going to escalate quickly. And there's the snowman that I said was going to attack. Oh, wow. It's like an ice demon bird. All we gotta do is melt it. Gotta get a really big kettle. And... freaking batty. You know, we technically had to be surrounded. Mirai in front, Rico in back. You really should be scared, bad guy. Good thing we had snow to fall in. I disagree strongly. I think it's time to pre-cure it up. In fact, the ruby might come in handy here because we can like melt everything. But I'm not sure we brought that. We probably didn't. I didn't quite pick up on that, but yeah, I think she did. That's her biggest concern, not the fact that she was just, you know, tossed backwards by the enemy. Stay out of this. We are having a moment. Oh, we do have the ruby. Okay, that works out. So maybe we will not get that Sapphire transformation this episode, but I'm okay with that. I've already gotten plenty of good stuff this episode. I can live with that. Man, it's such a gorgeous transformation, isn't it? I might like it better than the diamond one, honestly. It's close, though. I think having a really concentrated theme like Red Fire helps it a bit. And man, the rose petals of fire it all just works so well together and looks gorgeous. And we still have our tiny hats, most importantly. It just looks so good. The only magical girl transformation sequence I would put above it would be the newest season of Symphogear. But it's not like a huge gap. We're gonna beat that thing up, just so you know, Batty. Yeah, you can't squish us. What do you think you are? We're both Precures, we're both together. You both have the power of fire in your ice. You have no chance. Ain't that the truth? The power of making up with each other and manjuing together and hand-holding. Don't underestimate it. We also have a baby to protect now, so... You tell him, now throw him against something hard. Then shoot fire at it. Yeah, I think you're starting to realize you made a mistake, man. Oh, wow, he almost got squished by that. Too bad he wasn't. Is that the Sapphire? I think it might be. It looks pretty blue. Okay, it's not a Sapphire, but it's still blue. I'll take it. It's close enough. That's pretty damn close to Sapphire. So, just gonna break out the Linko Sticks, so I think it's time to end this off, this battle. Man, that is such a huge blast of energy from such a little bear. And they can't handle your crimson passions, so this is the end for them. It's even the heart shape, which of course makes things even better. As far as ways to die goes, it doesn't really get better than this. And I think we defeated it. That's because they fought, made up, they made their feelings clear to each other, and that resulted in more crimson passion. It's not that complicated. Just giggling. Hey, baby! Do we have, actually, does that have a name? I may have missed it if it did. So I'm just gonna call it baby until I get a name. Huh. Does it grow bigger as their feelings get more in sync? Oh, we're gonna feed it Linkle Stones? I mean, I know we already kind of put the diamond one on the phone, but... Yeah, just feed the baby aquamarine soup, as you do. So yeah, it is kind of like feeding the Linkle Stone to the baby. Yeah, thank you, thank you. What are we gonna call it? Tachan? Okay, Tachan. Okay, I can remember that. Maybe. I guess that's what it means. Do your best. Yeah, back to the important topic. We have Mofu backing us up. Oh, no more Chan? Okay. That's good, because I didn't like seeing Mist used for Rico, so this solves that problem. Oh god, this episode's just been too much on the Rico Mirai relationship front. It's just made like so much progress in one episode. I guess having a baby will help with that. Because, you know, when it comes to feeling connected to someone, I do believe having a baby would probably help a lot with that. Because there's an existence in the world that only exists because of the union between you two, you know? So, of course I don't have a baby, so it's just an assumption, but I feel confident in it. And I have this as evidence, sort of. We could use some manjuing in this CD. That'd be nice. I'm surprised you found a support stone, though. I thought for sure we would go through all the guard ones first. Okay, that was the 5th episode of Mahoutsukai Precure. And I kind of feel like there's a lot that you could say about this episode. Whew, I needed some water after that. I think that's understandable. Okay, so this episode, now we have yet more of our remedial studies. This time what we opted to do, instead of catching paper butterflies, we went to go, like, boil the water in the kettle, the magic kettle, which was mentioned as being a pretty simple, basic magical thing. However, they added an extra level of difficulty to it by going to this cool icy island place with like an icy volcano, which is a really cool environment. Again, no pun intended. I liked it a lot. I mean, just in general, I really like, you know, white, blue kind of color scheme, ice, frosty kind of stuff like that. All those kind of themes is just kind of aligned with my preferences, right? So anytime we can do that kind of thing, I'm pretty happy with it. So we got that. But our girls were quite cold, understandably. I mean, what they were wearing didn't even look all that warm, honestly. But, you know, Mirai. See, at what point did we do our manjuing? I think it was around here. Hard to find that I thought it would be. I was right about here. Okay, so what exactly did they call it? I want to find the exact name of it, because I kept calling it manjuing because I couldn't quite remember the first half of the name. So I do want to find that part. Oh, okay. Oshi kura manju. Oshi, I guess, isn't pushing. You know, I think that's what it means anyway. But yeah, so basically it's like a thing where you all get back to back and press up against each other. Doesn't cry when he's shoved. Yeah. Obviously not a thing that exists in the magical world, but exists in like real world Japan, Oshikura Manju. And most of the people actually went along with it. Of course, Mofu went along with it too. The two people that didn't were Rico and that one alpha kind of girl. Like, and even she got into it eventually, right? So even she's not quite as stubborn as Rico is, which is kind of telling, I would say. But yeah, Rico was just completely left out of it, and everybody else actually succeeded in being able to do the thing because they all were able to get warmed up and they cooperated and they had the teamwork, and it was all some real positive stuff. And then after they succeeded, Rico was just kind of left out in the cold, you know, like for one thing, her hands were quite a little bit frostbitten, which became a little bit of a plot thing later on. But the one good thing for Rico was the fact that she is kind of treated like a partner to Mirai. You know, that was kind of a thing in the previous remedial lesson episode, and it was again here. So even though Rico never actually did it, she still passed, which I don't think she was too happy with that. But the main issue, of course, is that we have Mirai, who is from the human world, you know, the non-magic world, and she's been here like a day or two, and she's already having like a pretty good level of success, whereas Rico has been struggling a lot, you know. And that's obviously been weighing on herself for quite a while, you know, probably before she ever met Mirai. She's been having some, you know, probably some confidence issues and just getting frustrated with a lot of things. And then Mirai showing up being like, yes, I got this cool new idea from this other world that'll get us all pumped up and able to do it just fine without much difficulty at all. Aren't you happy about that, Rico? And Rico's just over here like, well, not really, just you and you fancy show off. Like, you know, obviously Mirai had no negative intentions in anything she did this episode. It's just that that's kind of how Rico took it because of, you know, Rico's mental state. But even though Mirai Tennant didn't do anything wrong, it did make her a little bit more aware of the fact that she wasn't quite understanding Riko's feelings quite as well as she should. Still nothing to really feel that bad about, but it is something that once she's aware of definitely can help, help kind of bridge that little gap, because they kind of had a bit of a fight this episode, which I think is the first time they did that. But of course, having little fights is important in building any relationship, so it's really not a bad thing that they had a fight. It's just, and that was really made clear with the end of the episode with, their syncing and all that being stronger, powering up and all that, like that bond. The fight would not be as strong as it is now if they did not have that fight. But anyway, yeah, Mirai, obviously, Riko's stubborn, right? We know Riko's stubborn. She's a very Tsundere kind of character. I don't think anybody would actually argue against that. So she just she had this thing where she was trying not to talk to, this was the cutest thing, when she was trying not to talk to Riko, but she kept doing it anyway, and she kept trying to play it up. I was like, I was just talking to the bear. I wasn't talking to you. It was the best thing ever. Like, that may have been my favorite thing in the whole freaking episode. And that's saying something, because we actually had, skinship in the episode, and yeah, I still think that was my favorite thing. Just that little thing. But anyway, just them fighting and pouting is the best thing ever. And eventually they finally, after working things out, I know I'm kind of bouncing around a lot here, sorry about that, but yeah, what I was gonna say earlier before I went off on the Riko thing, Mirai being able to realize that she hasn't been quite as understanding with Riko's feelings as she could be, is what started the whole making up process, which was never going to be started by Riko because she's stubborn. So that kind of, I guess you could say, put out an olive branch for Riko to grab onto, which allowed them to get over it. Fix that, stop the fight, fix that rift in the relationship, and have it be stronger than ever. And then her hands got all warm because they had to do the manju thing to warm up her hands, and then they got all warm by the end of it. They're all fired up, they're ready to get that crimson passion going. So when the bad guy finally showed up, they were able to transform with the ruby, which luckily they did have, and they transformed using that seriously glorious, amazing transformation sequence. I really am blown away just by how good that is. There can't be very many anime that have transformation sequences of that level. It can't be a huge amount. Probably even among Precure anime, I can't imagine there being many that are better than that. I'd be a little bit surprised if any were better than that, honestly. So, just, even in this anime, I don't know if they'll be able to top that Ruby one. I don't know actually how many they'll have. So far we have the Diamond one and the Ruby one. I have been saying that I hope we get a Sapphire one, because I would love that more blue, white, frost, ice kind of color scheme themed transformation sequence. I think that has the potential to look even better than the fiery one, although it does have hearts, so I don't know how you beat that exactly. But I don't know how many they'll have, but if they do have ones, I would be a little bit surprised if they managed to be better than the Ruby one. But it would be a pleasant surprise. It'd be great to see, and even if it's not better, it still will probably be really great at the very least. So, but yeah, I mean, not too much to say really after this. They battled the enemy. They did the usual things they did. Got their Linkle sticks all powered up in full Linkle, is that what they call it? Something like that. And blasted the enemy away, and they won. And they got the Aquamarine Stone, I believe they called it, the support stone. And apparently they're kind of feeding these to the baby, because I think they put the diamond in that gave it the milk, right? If I'm remembering correctly. And then they did this, gave it soup, So, yeah, I wonder what the end game for the fairy will be. It'll probably end up becoming pretty powerful at some point. Maybe after they feed it all the other gems, it'll become the Emerald Stone. Maybe. That'd be something. I guess we'll find out what happens later on. But because there's no way they're gonna have a transformation sequence for every single stone. That would just be ridiculous, right? There's no way they would actually do that. I mean, it would be incredible if they did. So I am curious, but I do expect them to have at least one more. If they have two, they should have at least one more. 3, I think, is a good minimum number, especially to have a blue one to contrast the red one, because there usually are things that you would contrast, I believe. So I do expect at least one more, though. But man, wouldn't it be something if they had one for every stone? But anyway, I do think that's all I got to say, really. There's obviously still a lot about the stones and the link and the precures and stuff, and even this baby that we don't know, really. So it'll be cool to learn more about that as we go. The real meat of this episode was definitely the Riko Mirai bonding. That was center focus for sure, and they just did so much with it. Had so many cute moments between the two of them. Some just cute Tsundere moments from Rico in general. Just a lot of greatness in that regard, really. So might be my favorite episode so far. I actually think that's safe to say. I think I would call this my favorite episode so far. Because it was even in like an icy place, like to add a little bit extra greatness on top of what was already great content, you know? So yeah, I think this is my favorite episode. I think that's safe to say. I wonder if we'll get any more Manju in the future. We can hope, right? It is kind of nice to think about that. Yeah, Rico kind of didn't want to do the Manju thing in front of everyone, but once she was kind of alone with Mirai, she was willing to do it, you know? I know it's a little bit more complicated than that, and, you know, Mofu Bear was technically there, but still, I like to think of it that way, you know? Once they were away from everyone else, she's happy to do a Manju with Mirai, so, yeah, great episode. If I talk any more about it, I know I'm just going to end up repeating myself a lot, so we'll end it off here. It was a great episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it, like, quite a bit. And hopefully the show can continue to be pretty enjoyable, so we'll see. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki and Ryan for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.